Morning, Islanders. Welcome back to Reality Check, Please. I'm your host, Cassie, and today we're going to deep dive kind of quickly what a finale episode it was last night. I want to know your thoughts. I'm so happy for Amaya Papaya. I think that it's so very well deserved. Nicolandria, I clocked it. Nicolandria was going to come in second. Honestly, Iris and Pepe, Chris and Huda were kind of back and forth for me. I honestly thought for a second that Iris and Pepe could have pushed through, but I'm kind of realistic and I'm not delusional like some people. And I know that Huda has a huge following. So, I mean, what else did we expect? I'm just happy she was in top two. And I kind of want to talk about their date. It was kind of insane to me, given the past few episodes and how everybody has been able to kind of reel Chris back in and kind of manipulate his own situation and push him to just continue fighting for this non relationship, like this non realistic relationship that they have or connection. I'm surprised that they ended it before they even left the villa and right before the finale, like on their last date. I'm honestly surprised. I think that they should have either ended it before or at this point they should have just finished the season off and just gone their separate ways before. I don't know. I really don't know. I want to know your thoughts. I feel like Chris was kind of being manipulated by the other island. Well, not the other islanders, but maybe like Amaya and Brian into just kind of pushing through and like kind of peer pressuring him. It kind of gave like, you're already at the last of it, might as well just stick it through. I'm glad that he stood on his own and he kind of pushed Huda to make a decision because let's be real, I think they were both kind of done. I'm honestly surprised that Huda was able to kind of make a sound decision and say, you know what, we're not strong in our connection right now. We do live long distance. It wouldn't be healthy. I'm glad that she wasn't being delusional and kind of just trying to force the ending just because it's the finale day. I'm honestly surprised that she had that like awareness to make that decision. And so for that, I am like proud. But like I've said before, I am not a Huda fan. I don't agree with a lot of what she's done. I don't agree that she's even in the final four. I think that it should have gone to either Ace and Shelly or Taylor and Clark. I think that it's such a disservice that we have a couple that's not even interested in each other. And we've seen that from miles away in days before. We know that they were not meant to be, and it was a complete sham of a connection. I think that they both lost interest when Shelly lost interest. I feel like Huda no longer had to compete with another girl for a man's attention. And Chris kind of just said, well, shit, Shelly doesn't want me anymore. I might as well just stick it out with this one girl because everyone else was kind of already coupled up in that point. So I think that they kind of just wrote it out as long as they could. And I was right that it was not going to last. But I want to know your thoughts, so drop them down below. I don't want to harbor on too long for Chris and Huda. I think that they were the demise of themselves, given how much that they tried to push the narrative that they were a strong connection. I think the people that were even more delusional were her followers, given how they were going so hard and going so strong for them. And then when Chris acted the way that he did in their date or even in the last episode, all of a sudden everyone's coming for him in his comments. I think that he has been genuinely expressing his honesty behind her back and not to her face until last night. And so for that, I think that he could have been a little stronger and a little more upfront about it. But you guys were writing hard for them and you guys were making excuses for them, saying that, you know, he and her are having genuine, real arguments. And that just goes to show how genuine and real their connection is. Let's be so for real. That, like, you guys were not fooling, I don't even think, yourselves. I think that you guys were just trying to paint a picture that America was not willing to look at. And so stop posting disgusting things in his comments. I knew it was a matter of time before the Huda fans and the Chudas were going to just flip on Chris. And so I think that that truly just needs to stop. We have to remember this is a TV show. I love how everyone of Huda's defenders are so quick to paint and point the finger at everyone else being bullies and Huda's being attacked by everyone else, but they cannot do the same reflection of this girl. She has been the common denominator in every situation and issue and relationship connection she has been in, and yet nobody will hold her accountable. So I think that there's nothing really more left to say about that. I think that she's going to have a ton of damage control that she has to pick up of the mess that you guys have made, her Huda defenders, for hacking Alandria's TikTok. So with that, I will leave you, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to kind of go and pivot over to Iris and Pepe. I love Iris and Pepe. I think that a lot can be said, or a lot can be kind of paralleled. Nick and Alandria were brought together by fate. I think that everything that could have happened for them to end up together kind of did. It was pretty insane how their fate just kind of unraveled, unfolded before them. And Iris and Pepe, kind of the same thing. They came in together as bombshells, side by side with each other. I feel like that alone kind of put them apart or off of each other's radar. And I want to know what you guys think in that sense. I think that it's kind of crazy how Pepe's mom clocked it from the very beginning. And she said, you know what? I've been seeing you guys walk in. I saw you guys walk in together and I knew that there was something there. I never caught it, honestly. And I'm just so glad that they both stayed when their connections were dumped off the island, because I think they do have kind of like this fate happened love story. I want them so badly to work out in the real world, given that they live real close to each other. The way that he just kisses her and comforts her and just is just so like cariñoso with her. I personally am so obsessed. I love the little forehead kisses, the little like hand holding and the hand positions that they have. I think it's so genuine. The same can go for Nick and Alandria. The way that Nick lights up with Alandria and how he finally like told her and admitted, on the second date, I kissed you in the blindfold challenge. I would love to be a fly on the wall in Sierra's room when if she even watched last night's finale. But even if, like, to be a fly in her room when she was watching these last few episodes unfold and how they built a strong connection. I know she said online that she's been rooting for them individually and she's, wants them to have like the best experience, in this. And so that I hope is true. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to finish this off with Amaya and Brian. I think that I'm so happy given that my boyfriend's Dominican, Manny, my son is half Dominican, half Mexican. So I love that the Latin community is coming out on top. I think that they do have a genuine connection. I'm so proud of her for not changing who she is and who like how she wears her heart on her sleeve. I'm so thankful for Brian for sticking up for her in the Stand on Business challenge, and how even before they found out that she was America's favorite, that he was already showing interest in her, because that just goes to show how genuine his love for her really is. I think that they will have such a beautiful love story, and how their date just gave us, it was just so pretty to see their pictures and their baby pictures. And I loved it. I loved every ounce of that date. It was beautiful. Speaking of dates, before we end this off, what did you guys think of Chris not wanting to carry Huda? That I am no Huda fan, but I don't know how I feel about that. I think that even if he wasn't going to carry her, he could have at least held her hand as she's walking in the water. I mean, I'm a girl. I have no problem. Like, I mean, I was also a restaurant manager, so I don't mind getting down and dirty. I will be the first person to say, let's do something crazy. Like, if I have to get dirty and I have to get my feet in the water, take off my shoes, let's go. I don't care if I'm wearing a dress. I don't care if I'm all done up. I will do what I have to do. I'm an independent woman. So I think that, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I do think that he could have at least held her hand and walked with her. But the fact that he left her to walk alone, I was gagged. Let me know what you guys think. It was just a mess. And then the singer, the was like singing Moon River. Wow. That was insane. All I can say is I'm glad that this season is over. I'm glad that we can now move on to Beyond the Villa. We are actually getting a reunion in New York. Andy Cohen is co-hosting with Ariana Madix. I think that it's a great duo. They know each other for so many years. Andy is the king of reunion and hosting. Ariana is very new to it. So I think it's the perfect combo. It kind of gives like when Lisa Vanderpump would be on the Vanderpump Rules reunions alongside Andy. Not that they would co-host together, but she would kind of be there as like, maybe they did co-host together. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I'm so excited that Andy is hosting the reunion with Ariana. I think that we'll get a little bit more of details and tea and more of like these hot takes, because Andy does not hold back. He is very kind of like cutthroat when he needs to be, and I appreciate that about him. I think Ariana was learning the ropes last season. She did well with what she could and she did well with what she had. But I think that this season's going to be a lot messier of a reunion. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and I will catch you guys on the next one.